It was January of 1963, and I got a call from one of my agents who said, "You have an appointment tomorrow. Go over to meet Herbert Leonard at Screen Gems about doing Route 66. So I said, "Oh, good." So the next day I went over. So I went into this large office, and it was not posh, and there was activity going on all over the place. Bert Leonard was behind a big desk, and there was activity all over the room, and I sat down, and he was on the telephone. And he would ask me a question, and then while I was answering it, he was back talking on the telephone. And then when I finished, he'd ask me another question, then go back on the telephone. And, and all this other stuff going on around the room. And then after 4 or 5 questions, I was dismissed, and I thought, okay. So I went home, and no sooner got home, I got a phone call, and it was my agent. He said, "You got the job," which came as a shock. So he said, "You're to call tomorrow, Thursday, to see about the script." So at the appointed time the next day, I called and spoke to one of the associate producers. And he said, "Well, the script didn't come in, but the writer did. And he's back from the location. He said he's solved his script problems, his plot problems, and he's gone home to start writing it. Come in tomorrow, 3 o'clock, bring your baggage because you're leaving tomorrow night for Corpus Christi, Texas." So I went in the next day, and they had handed me 19 pages of a script by Sterling Silliphant in the closing of a trunk. And it was wonderful. I mean, if I thought The Twilight Zone was far out, I mean, this went over the edge. This was great stuff. It was only 19 pages. And they told me that they had, I was told that it had already been cast. They didn't have a script yet, but it had been cast off of the story outline. And that we had Ed Begley, Ruth Roman, and Don Dubbins. And before I left that day, I was given 4 more pages. And then that night, got on the plane for Corpus Christi, Texas, arrived the next morning, and was told we were going to start shooting Monday morning. Now, the normal prep time for a show would be 6 or 7 days. And here, without a script, I was going to start shooting in 2. So the script we had and a major location was a ferry, the ferry boat. So they took me over to the ferry boat, and I blocked out, and we had that whole sequence, the whole sequence that took place there. And that was scheduled to be shot Monday morning. We get there Monday morning. Jack Marta says, "I can't shoot." It was an overcast, foggy day. We're black and white. He said, there's nothing to shoot people against. I mean, your close-ups are going to be against sky, and in black and white, they're just all blend together. So we ended up at the end of a pier where there was a big enclosure, big room, and we spent the day out at the end there. I think I got 3 or 4 inserts of shooting down at the water, of a fish coming out of the water and some stuff like that. But there was nothing to shoot. And so we were scheduled to come back the next day, except the next day the weather is forecast to be more of the same. So that night, from Hollywood, they dictated on the telephone 3 scenes. And a secretary in Corpus Christi took them down, typed them up, distributed them then to the actors, to me, to the crew. Leonard called me to tell me where in the script those scenes went. And that's what we shot the next morning. By noon, we had the scene in the can, and I thought, oh, finally. And Jack Marta, the director of photography, came to me and he said, "I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but there was a camera malfunction. We're going to have to shoot everything over that we did this morning." I said, okay. So we went to lunch. We came back. We reshot the scene. We had blocked it all, and so we shot it and got it done in a hurry. Shot the other 2 scenes that day. And then by then we were off and rolling, and we just kept going.